collecting donations for the Lindt Foundation, which supports humanitarian projects around the world. Your contributions are...
Alright, we finally made it to Zurich. It was such a good flight. I actually got some rest and it is so cold, which we are so excited because we love the cold. But we're trying to figure out how to get the train tickets. We did go to the arrival lounge and took a shower, got dressed and changed so we were ready to go. We're trying to take the train to go to our hotel, drop off our bags, and then our friends Zach and Gabby, I've talked about them before, we went to flight attendant training together. They're actually meeting us here, so we're gonna hang out in Zurich for a little bit with them. We made it off the train. I am loving this weather. George loves cold weather too, so we are thriving here. But we're walking over to the Lindt chocolate factory. Gabby and Zach are already there. Our reservation is at 1:30 and we will get there at 1:27. And here you're supposed to get like unlimited free chocolate, which is right up my alley. I love chocolate. All right, so we're probably like what, 500 meters away from the factory, and you can already smell it. It smells so good.
I figured most of this vlog is going to be a voiceover just because I pretty much handed my camera over to George and said take clips and videos of whatever it is that you think is worth taking a video of. So this is what it looks like from George's perspective. I'm so glad I gave him the camera because I'm usually the one behind the camera, and this time I get to be in front of the camera. So we got to the Lindt Museum and we met up with Zach and Gabby. I've talked about Zach and Gabby in the past. Like I said, we went to flight attendant training together. We are in completely different career paths now, but we still keep in touch, and it's been really nice to be able to hang out with them in Switzerland. When you get to the museum, you get this phone-looking thing that is pretty much a speaker. You just put it up to your ear and it gives you a history of chocolate, the museum, how everything got started. And every time you see one of those little whisk pictures, you go and you just tap it and it gives you new information. And it's actually very interesting because as a chocolate lover myself, I never even really paid attention to how chocolate was ever made, the history or anything like that. As you can see, there's a sign there that doesn't allow bags or big coats. And I think they do that just to pretty much control people getting too much chocolate, since there is an area where you're able to go and just sample chocolates and just take some home with you. So they have a little area before you go in with lockers. They are free. You don't have to pay anything for them. So you're able to store your backpacks or coats, which is nice because it was actually really hot in there. It's super cold outside. So when you go inside, the heater's just on full blast. So it was nice to be able to take off our coats and just not be sweating. We then made it to my favorite part, which was where you got to sample a bunch of chocolate, as much as you wanted. You did have to sanitize your hands first, which is very important. So I started with my favorite, which is white chocolate, and this was so good. They have spoons for you to be able to just get a little bit of chocolate, sample it, and you can try white chocolate, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate. I loved the white chocolate. Milk chocolate is also really good. I personally did not like dark chocolate. I'm not big on dark chocolate. And here is George trying the milk chocolate, and he's not a chocolate lover, but he actually really, really liked the milk chocolate one.
That was ginger? Had ginger in it?
It tastes like ginger.
Yeah?
As you can see, I wasn't a fan of that flavor, but this little area has a whole bunch of different chocolates with different ingredients. So there's like with lemon and ginger, orange, and I personally just like milk chocolate and white chocolate, or maybe some nuts in the chocolates, but I'm not a big fan of the flavored. There was a little photo booth, so we took some pictures before we started grabbing our samples of chocolate, and we made sure to get as much as we could because they're so good. And if you know Lindt chocolate can be a little bit pricey, so we definitely took advantage. However, there is a gift shop that you can go and purchase any more chocolates that you would like to try. So we did do that. We brought some for my in-laws and for ourselves. We already finished the bag here at home. At the end of the tour, all you have to do is scan your entry ticket, and then they give you a little treat, another little chocolate. I got the orange one, so not my favorite, but it's okay. I ended up getting a free chocolate, so I was very grateful for that. But then it was time to leave, and we had to get back to the city center where we were. So we took a ferry, and the ferry was probably one of my favorite parts. It was so beautiful. At first, it was a little bit foggy, so you couldn't see anything. But my goodness, Zurich has become one of my top favorite places. I feel like I say that a lot about any country, any new country that I visit, but honestly, Zurich just did something to me. I absolutely loved it. We got the pass that included the ferry as part of our transportation. You can get tickets that include pretty much everything to get around the city. Switzerland has probably the most efficient transportation I have ever seen. Very punctual to the dot. They don't mess around with delays or anything like that. The sky was finally clearing up, and look how beautiful it is. I absolutely love this. I say that a lot, I know, but cold weather is just so comforting to me. So we went for a walk, and we were looking at all the architecture and just all the different views that we could find. And we actually were looking for a place to eat. We were really hungry by this point. Like, yes, we had chocolate, but we needed some real food after a very long day of traveling. Zach and Gabby had just landed from Newark, because that is where Zach is based. Zach is now a pilot, which is very cool. So we ended up walking, and we went into the OnCloud store. I had no idea that they were from Switzerland, and we went just to take a look to see if they were, any cheaper or any more special than the ones that we can find back home. And as cute as everything was, we ended up walking right out because everything was still a little bit pricey. I was so in awe of everything. I have so many pictures. I wish you guys could see my camera roll because I have so many pictures of Zurich. Everything was just so beautiful. So we found this area where you can see the view of the city and just pretty much get a better view. And then we also took this as the opportunity to find something to eat or something else to do. We only had 20 hours in Zurich because we had a layover there to connect to Alicante. So it ended up working out, and we made the best of it.
Alright, so we've been walking around all day, and it's just been so beautiful. But we're gonna go get something to eat, like a little snack. There's Zach and Gabby.
I didn't know you were filming. I was like, who's she talking to?
But to myself. We're gonna go get something to eat, and then we're gonna go to a fondue place later. I'm really excited about that.
We finally found a place to sit down and eat. We had a drink, and then at night we ended up going to the fondue place. So here we are having another drink. And they came, turned on the burners, and we ordered the truffle. It was delicious. However, it was a little overwhelming after a while, so I stopped eating. But this was pretty much it. We had a very early flight the next day, and we had the absolute best time. And I can't wait to share more trips with you guys. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!